Hey guys, it's Danielle from the Created for This show, and this show is brought to you by the beautiful Created for This mug. This affirmation mug is available at daniellemroberts.com/shop, and it can send out today if you're ready. It's a great affirmation mug for any Christian woman in your life, and has the beautiful Ephesians 2:10 written on it. So, head over there, grab your mug now, and I'll get it out the door. Today, what I want to talk to you about is kind of a song and a verse as we are looking forward to making plans and kind of relevant for any time in your life as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. And it's a song by Casting Crowns. It's, I believe it's called Make Room. I think that's what my note said. But I love it because it goes so much deeper than Christmas. So it's from their Christmas album, but it also brings up a really good reflection item. So the song is talking about, do you have room in your heart? Are you making room for Jesus? And this, as I've been listening to the song, as I've been playing the words over and over and over again, because when I find a good album that I like, I have a tendency to just go with it. And it brings up the question and the reflection of, are we really making room for Jesus in our lives? Are we coming to life, coming to business, coming to our family or time with our family with an open heart for what God wants to do for us and in us and through us? And as I've been reflecting on this, one of the things that really has popped up has just been the area of goals and plans. And we can have the most amazing goals and we can have the most amazing plans, but if we're not making room for Jesus in our lives, in our plans, in our future, then we might not, I wouldn't say that it wouldn't succeed, but we have a better success rate if we actually allow him in and help him or have him work in our plans to further his goals and his kingdom. And that's something that's really powerful, is that his ideas and his dreams are so much bigger than our thoughts. And that's amazing to me, because as I was sitting in the radio studio a couple months ago, somebody was like, well, the guy that was interviewing me was like, so what do you think happens when you allow this in, or when this happens? And I was like, your dreams are so much smaller than God's. I had no idea that I would be sitting in a radio chair being interviewed for the radio. But God has such big plans for me, for you, for your business, for your life, for where he wants you to go, that it's kind of overwhelming in a way. And I think that's what stops me personally from kind of going out on a limb, because I get scared. And I need to be better about reminding myself and remembering that God's plans are so much bigger than ours. And he wants us to flourish and succeed. But that might not look like what we think it's going to look like. So, as you go forward, what can you do? Is, well, pray. Prayer is such a huge avenue that sometimes I feel like we say, oh, I'm just going to pray for you. Well, there's no just. Like when we bring things to God, he listens and he cares. So I'm going to pull up I'm going to pull up this chapter, and it's one we're looking at in church right now, but I think it's totally applicable here. And as I'm reading through this, you might be like, why? Just give me a minute. So it's Isaiah chapter 9, and I'm going to read 1 through 7. But there will be no gloom for her who is in anguish. In the former time he brought into contempt the land of Zebulun, and the land of Naphtali. But in the latter time, he has made glorious the ways of the sea, the land beyond the Jordan, Galilee of the nations. The people who have walked in darkness have seen a great light. And those who dwell in a land of deep darkness, on them has light shined. You have multiplied the nation. You have increased its joy. They rejoice before you as with joy at the harvest, as they are glad when they divide the spoil. For the yoke of his burden and the staff of his shoulder and the rod of his oppressor they have broken as on the day of Midian. For every boot of the tramping warrior in battle tumult, and every garment rolled in blood will be burned as fuel for the fire. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of peace there will be no end, on the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it and to uphold it with justice and righteousness from this time forth and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. So the thing that I want to point out here is where he's talking about the people who have walked in darkness and they have seen a great light. And those who have dwelt in the land of deep darkness, on them light has shined. And this is powerful, you guys. This is saying, it's talking about Jesus coming. It's talking about increase in joy, increase in what they're experiencing. And then it talks about how on his shoulders and his name are going to be Mighty Counselor, or Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. There's nothing bad in here, guys. And that is so, so powerful as we walk into this new year, as we walk into the just creating plans and goals for ourselves and saying, what does this next year look like? It's going to be powerful, and it's so exciting, because God has truly come to multiply joy, multiply what he has promised us, and that is something that I want you guys to go forward with, and just make room for him. Make room for him to do things in your heart, for him to draw squiggly lines through your plans and say, no, these are not my plans. This is better. This is better for you. And even in that time, if it sucks and you're like, this is the worst thing ever, guys, just go with it. Okay? I think that there's so many times when we are so hesitant to let him move in us and through us that it's hard for him to work, and he has to take more drastic measures. So that's what I'm going forward with as I'm planning for this new year, as I'm working out what this next year looks like. I'm going to make room for him in my heart, and I would love for you guys to do the same. All right, that's all I have for today. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.